Welcome back to New Rockstars. It's me, MT, and praise Moon Jesus, because Moon Knight is finally here, everybody, showing all of us impatient lovers of moonlight justice just how hard the fist of Khonshu fly. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. They're the all-in-one platform to build a really cool website and run your business. That bathroom sink did not stand a chance. Like, that thing shattered like the bones of an invisible Egyptian jackal who just messed up the wrong moon-themed mercenary who also works at a gift shop and calls his non-moon-themed mom to chat on a regular basis because he's a good son. Or is he? Time out, y'all, because if it's already common knowledge that the physical body of the Moon Knight hero was originally solo hosted by Marc Spector because he was born as Marc Spector with his own real biological mom Spector, then who the hell is Stephen Grant calling mommy on the phone to? If I have to call somebody mommy on the phone, I have to pay several $1,000s an hour. It better not be Aunt May, because I don't think my virgin ears can take all of that again. So let's dive into this moon-themed mommy mystery together, my nerd babies, because the possibilities are kinda wild, considering how it's pretty much impossible for the Steve Grant personality to have a biological mother. The most obvious answer to me as to who Steve is talking to on the phone is, of course, Marc Spector, the man in the mirror himself. As we can see from Moon Knight episode 1, Steve definitely has some slight sleepwalking issues, very much implying that Marc Spector, Steve Grant's other self, retakes control over his biological physical body once the maidenless gift shop Grants goes goodnight. And my god, is that man maidenless after this episode. But here's the thing, y'all. If this is Marc Spector's body and this Stephen Grant guy is just borrowing it to squander it, being some type of dripless Egypt nerd at the London National Art Gallery, then Marc needs to keep tabs on what the hell the Steve Grant guy is even doing, because this dude seems like a noodlehead. As we can clearly see from this episode, when Steve Grant blacks out and loses control over his body to the Marc side of the force, he straight up does not remember any mercenary brand murders that Marc commits. So the opposite might just be true from Marc Spector's perspective. Because think about it, in the comics, Marc Spector is a mercenary with a ton of military training. Like, this dude is one of the best in the world, as evidenced by the trail of dead bodies who will no longer be waking up to go anywhere anytime soon. But that being said, if there's one thing a man with military experience is, it's prepared. So if this Steve Grant persona is truly the parasite that Khonshu says he is in Marc's body, then Marc is going to have to prepare himself for when Steve eventually and inevitably takes over his body, which means literally tricking Steve into believing that he's leaving voicemails to his dear old Mama Grant on holiday, when he's actually just giving Marc all of the intel that Marc needs to know about the comings and goings of his handsome Oscar Isaac body, especially if this Steve guy is dead set on leaving traps around the house. Like, Steve could literally be telling Mama Marc all of his sleepwalking problems and the measures that he's taking to track them, which could explain why Steve keeps waking up securely shackled with his door tape and bed sand undisturbed, despite very clearly having gotten out of bed that night. Steve is snitching on himself, with Marc Spector possibly even leaving Stephen Grant postcards from all the places that Marc Spector visits on his many Moon Knight missions. Places like Madrid, Spain, which is the postcard that Stephen Grant puts on his fish tank at the beginning of the episode. As we can see the statue of a bullfighter that resides outside the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas in Madrid on the postcard. Places like Madrid, Spain, the gondolas of what appears to be Venice, Italy, and somewhere in the northern hemisphere where the northern lights are visible, the Aurora Borealis. Possibly this little village on the Bavarian Alps in Germany that Steve suddenly and painfully regains his consciousness in, which is mighty suspicious considering that Red Skull's castle, where he literally turned himself into Red Skull, is located in the Bavarian Alps as well. Also, his entire scientific facility from Captain America 1. The Castle de Crack from What If, you know, where Red Skull was literally trying to summon a god from another dimension. That dude was literally just traveling all over the world looking for weird magic stuff, which could be what leads Arthur Harrow's own cult back to Red Skull's neck of the woods in the show. Look, 2022 is the year we finally got Moon Knight, but if 2022 is the year you finally start your own business, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence for that business. The kind of website that looks great, works great, and makes you money. Squarespace has a bunch of great features to help your business be successful. You can present members-only gated content, create email campaigns, or add online booking for appointments or sessions, all from the Squarespace interface. It's really intuitive. The Squarespace Video Studio even helps you make pro-level video content. And they also have great analytics to help you figure out what's working and what's not. Because that promotion you ran where you carved your URL into the stalls of public restrooms didn't work out as well as you thought it would. Just live and learn. Use Squarespace instead. So head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/newrockstars to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/newrockstars for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Thank you. You're the best. But anyways, these postcards might just be clues from Marc Spector that Stephen Grant may have to piece together throughout the course of the series, possibly after he finds out that his mother was just one big mom catfish for Marc to track Stephen's whereabouts, using the postcards to reverse track Marc's whereabouts as Moon Knight. But that's just Marc, okay? Because I don't think Marc is the only suspect here. Oh, no, because while Marc is likely to be the one that Stephen is talking to, in my opinion, there's also an absolutely wild possibility that we need to discuss. The possibility that Stephen's mother is the goddess Ammit herself. I know, crazy. But I just find it funny how Steve always seems to sign off his phone calls to his mom with the words,
"Laters, Gators. Love you. Laters, Gators."
when the goddess Ammit herself has the head of a crocodile. And yes, while a crocodile isn't exactly an alligator like Loki, the two animals are very much inextricably linked due to their visual similarities. And do not forget that we also get this image of a crocodile and or alligator on a phone in early Moon Knight trailers as well. So there seems to be some type of implied symbolic connection between crocodiles / alligators and communication with the human brain here. And by the way that Arthur Harrow is talking in episode 1, it seems that Arthur Harrow's life's work might surround the potential return of this goddess Ammit into the world of man after being betrayed by her fellow gods and apparently her own human avatar. And while we don't particularly know where exactly Ammit is yet or who her past avatar was, we do know from Harrow, as well as from Steve's own freaky experiences with Khonshu, that it is common for gods to communicate to their avatar via a disembodied voice. So therefore, there is a chance that we could be looking at a scenario where the personality of Steve Grant could actually be that of Ammit's former avatar, whose mind now resides within Marc Spector's brain like a parasite, as Khonshu lovingly puts it. And if Steve Grant is actually secretly Ammit's avatar who doesn't remember that he's Ammit's avatar, referring to Ammit as mom would be symbolically appropriate, as that crocodile goddess would technically be the HBIC in this situation for sure. But that is who I believe Steve Grant is talking to on his cellular device. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section below, my nerd babies, because we gotta speculate together. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can follow me at MasterTainment on Twitter if you want to see me tweet some weird shit. You can follow New Rockstars wherever we are on social media. And when you do, make sure you hit that notification bell on YouTube. And also, please hit up newrockstarsmerch.com because we have an amazing line of Moon Knight shirts and hoodies over there. They're freaking awesome and dope. You should go check them out immediately. They literally sell out so fast. So please do yourself a favor. Head on over to newrockstarsmerch.com. Pick them up ASAP. And thank you for spending time with me. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.